It's terrifying. The Moon, long believed to be a silent witness to Earth's formation, now appears to be a ticking cosmic time bomb of geological anomalies, unknown substances, and energy reserves so powerful they could determine the next global superpower. And yet, no one was prepared for what the samples revealed, because they confirmed what many feared for decades, that something about the Moon doesn't add up. While NASA was tangled in political delays and Mars-bound ambitions, China quietly pursued a mission far more strategic. Through the Chang'e program, named after the Chinese moon goddess, they mapped, landed, sampled, and most critically, succeeded where no other nation dared, the far side of the Moon. A place Earth never sees. A place radio signals cannot reach. And in 2019, with Chang'e 4, China became the first country to land a rover there. But it wasn't just a feat of engineering. It was a statement of intent. With a communications relay set at a gravitational sweet spot beyond the Moon, China laid the foundation for full-scale exploration. And when the U-22 rover began transmitting, what it found sent shock waves across the scientific community. A shiny, greenish gel-like material lying quietly inside a crater, completely unlike the surrounding lunar surface. It reflected light unnaturally and defied the geological expectations of the area. Though scientists called it impact melt breccia, what truly rattled them was not its presence, but its freshness. It looked recent. But how? The far side lacks radioactive, heat-generating elements. It should be cold, quiet, and inactive. So why did this strange substance look newly formed? Months after the gel-like mystery, the U-22 rover stumbled upon something even more bizarre: transparent, glass-like spheres scattered across the dusty surface. Not fragments. Not beads. But perfect orbs measuring up to an inch in diameter, larger than anything Apollo ever retrieved. They weren't scattered randomly. They appeared in patterns, as if laid by design or shaped by forces we don't yet understand. These formations challenge our current models of impact physics. Creating such large and clear spheres would require intense heat far beyond what typical meteoroid collisions produce. Some scientists speculated ancient volcanism. Others whispered darker theories, hinting at unknown energy sources or buried systems beneath the crust. What's clear is this: the Moon's far side is not a barren relic. It's dynamic, unpredictable, and likely far more active than we ever imagined. And if nature isn't responsible for these spheres, who or what is? But the discoveries didn't stop at the surface. China's mission targeted the South Pole Aitken Basin, one of the largest impact craters in the solar system. Formed by an asteroid strike billions of years ago, the force of the impact was so massive it likely cracked through the crust and exposed material from the Moon's mantle. When samples from this region were returned by Chang'e 6 in 2024, what they contained shattered long-standing lunar theories. Scientists detected minerals like low-calcium pyroxene and olivine, direct evidence of the Moon's deep interior. But their composition was off. They didn't match the models. The elements and ratios were fundamentally different from what geologists expected based on the Moon's formation theory. Either our models are wrong, or something altered these materials. And the implications are chilling. Because if we don't understand the Moon's formation, then we don't understand Earth's early history either. Everything we thought we knew is suddenly on trial. Hidden inside one of the newly discovered minerals, dubbed Shanghai Tiwi, was a trapped element that could redefine civilization: helium-3. Rare on Earth but abundant on the Moon, helium-3 is the holy grail of clean energy. Capable of fueling nuclear fusion without radioactive waste. Just 1 ton could power an entire country for a year. China's Chang'e 5 mission confirmed its presence in returned samples, not as a theory, but as measurable, extractable atoms. Mining helium-3 would require massive infrastructure, processing tons of regolith. But China is already planning exactly that. Their International Lunar Research Station aims to be operational before 2035, with capabilities not just for exploration, but for full-scale resource extraction. This is no longer a science race. It's an energy war, a geopolitical chess match unfolding on the Moon's surface. Whoever controls the helium-3 reserves may control the next century of energy. And while the West debates timelines, China is building theirs. When the Changi 6 samples were quietly shared with a panel of international researchers, one name on that list stood out: Dr. Samuel Rayner. Nobel laureate in physics and one of the world's most respected voices in planetary geochemistry. After weeks of private analysis, Rayner broke protocol and made a stunning public statement at a closed-door scientific forum in Geneva. According to leaked transcripts, he said, "If these mineral patterns are accurate, we are no longer looking at a naturally evolving satellite. We're looking at geological coding processes arranged with precision, not chaos." Rayner warned that the crystalline alignment in some of the returned minerals resembled engineered layering, not random formation. He drew parallels to synthetic nanostructures on Earth used in semiconductors and metamaterials. In other words, the materials found may not be entirely natural. And that bombshell, coming from someone who once led research at CERN, is what has scientists whispering. Because if parts of the moon's interior show signs of unnatural formation, we're not just looking at geology anymore. We're looking at design. Among the least publicized instruments aboard Changi 6 was a low-frequency ground-penetrating radar, meant to map subsurface layers up to 100 meters deep. The data, quietly released in a Chinese academic journal, showed something researchers weren't ready to explain: layers that reflected radar signals with extreme precision, almost like polished surfaces buried beneath the regolith. In a natural body, layers should scatter signals inconsistently. But this data revealed symmetry, parallels and intervals too consistent for random geology. Some of the returns suggested cavities, hollow spaces with no expected explanation. Speculation exploded online: buried tunnels, ice chambers, or something even stranger, structures. Of course, official reports denied any such thing. But the raw data remains. And analysts have started noticing something even more bizarre. Every 12 hours, a low-frequency resonance spikes near these reflective zones. It's weak, barely noticeable, but it's there. Repeating. And as one Chinese researcher anonymously noted, sometimes it's the regularity of a thing that makes it most unnatural. You'd expect NASA, ESA, or JAXA to address these anomalies head-on. But since the Changi samples were returned, they've said almost nothing. No public briefings. No peer-reviewed co-studies. No engagement. Just silence. And that silence is growing louder. Sources within the scientific community say that internal NASA memos have instructed Lunar researchers to avoid public speculation regarding Changi anomalies until cooperative frameworks are re-established. Translation: don't talk. Not yet. Not until the West can catch up. Meanwhile, China pushes forward, publishing cryptic data under controlled state journals, restricting foreign access to samples, and advancing their infrastructure on the lunar surface. The Nobel laureate's warning remains unaddressed by official Western institutions. And this has led some to believe